What's up? What it do? Cyber World. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Brown, and this is the Ash Said It Show. Yes, thank you for all of the love and support. Over 1,800 episodes and counting, 500,000 streams all around the world. None of this is possible without you guys, so I thank you so very, very much. Today, we are joined by author and one of the most talented illustrators that I've ever known, the wonderful Sarah McColl. Hey, Sarah.
Hi, thanks so much for having me. That's really kind of you to say.
Oh, no problem. I've been catching your work for a little time now. And I was like, I got to try to get this girl on my show because I know her stuff is really awesome. And I know that I've got a lot of mama bears that listen into the show that probably want to check out some books, get those books for their kiddos. So, to start things off, Sarah, where did your love for storytelling, where did that begin?
Gosh, growing up, I was definitely a bookworm, so I feel like reading a lot definitely kind of comes with the territory of then wanting to dip your toe in telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved to draw as well, so I think illustrating was just something I've always done for fun and for joy, and then it just kind of, as I got older, I thought, maybe I can take a whack at doing this professionally. So it's just kind of been a meandering little quest to be where I am now.
Yeah, so can you remember, was there a specific event or an assignment or something? What do you feel was the catalyst for you beginning this career?
Well, I'm definitely just kind of, would be doing a lot of painting for fun, and my favorite sorts of paintings to draw were illustrations or narratives. I like to be able to tell stories with a series of pictures, so I was kind of just doing a little research into what it would kind of take to be an illustrator in the industry, and I made a checklist of things that, I should try to get better at drawing if I wanted to tell stories in picture book form. And I just kind of, I don't know, I'm very, I'm very type A, so I kind of made a list, decided I was going to give it a good old try, and just kind of started working on a portfolio whenever I got a chance, and it just kind of unfolded slowly from there.
Okay. What do you recall as your moment of confirmation? So, that moment that you're like, oh my gosh, wow, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Oh, that's a great question. I'm not sure if it was one exact kind of aha moment, right. But I do think that after doing it for a couple of years, I do this thing sort of at the end of every year on Instagram, actually, where I gather all of the work that I did that year. And it kind of happened when I made the switch from painting traditionally to painting digitally. I all of a sudden started creating so much more often, and I looked back on all the paintings that I had made, and it was kind of like night and day, and I was like, oh wow, I really kind of amassed this whole second life.
Amazing.
That I didn't realize at the time.
Yes, and you've got a lot of stuff up on your website. Please share with the audience what that website is and what they may find on it.
Sure. So my website is sarahmccallillustration.com. It has a selection of work from my portfolio, illustration-wise. So some of the things are paintings that I've made up for projects that don't exist, but that I would like to do. And there are some that I've done for clients in the last couple of years. So I do a lot of work for phonics books and educational books for schools. So some of my work is up there as well. And then links to my agent and to my shop for people who want to hire me.
Yes.
Or support my book.
Absolutely. Now, your latest book project that I got wind of is Pout Party. That's your latest book. So you're author, you wrote it, you illustrated, all that good stuff. Tell us about the inspiration behind this book.
Oh, I would love to. So this is the first time I've ever written a book. Most of the other work I've done, children's book-wise, is just pictures. But this idea sort of came about from experience. Working in, publishing or trying to break into publishing, you get a lot of rejection, and I feel like it kind of is part of the process.
Yeah.
And everyone's, I think, response, if you say to them, oh, my book got rejected again, they'll be like, oh, cheer up. Don't worry about it. It'll happen. And I know that it will happen. I just want to take a few minutes to be sad about it.
Yeah.
And so the idea for this book kind of came through my lived experience of just needing to make space to pout sometimes. And I don't think you can kind of like force your way out of a bad mood. Sometimes you just need to sit with it and sit with those feelings, and they will just pass on their own. And I thought, that is a tool for me as an adult, and I'm sure a child would find a lot of value in something like that. And turning it into a pout party kind of gamifies that process of sitting with your feelings.
I love it. The illustrations, I mean, very, very childlike, but very relatable, I could say, because I think you're right. Everyone has gone through, whether you're in publishing or in entertainment or in an office job, we've all had those letdown moments where you're just like, you know what, just let me wallow in it for a minute. I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to be, let me be sad. Let me just, embrace the sadness. I'll come out of it. But so the concept of Pout Party, I thought it was hilarious, but highly relatable to both children and to kids, to adults, to adults as well. So I love that. Loved it. Sarah, so last but certainly not least, what advice would you give to any young female aspiring illustrators, authors, entrepreneurs?
Oh, I think the main advice I would ever give, really, if I can give any, is to just be resilient. And even though you do have rejections, or if you do have setbacks, it's okay to be sad about it, but definitely don't give up. I think that's really the only factor in being successful or not being successful, is to just keep trying, because you only fail when you stop trying.
This is truth. Very true. Sarah McColl, thank you so much for coming through today, Sarah. We appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Not a problem. And Sarah, let everyone know the best way to follow you across social media.
Sure. My Instagram handle is Sarah McColl Illustration. I update that really frequently, and you can also check out my website, but those are kind of the two places I live on the internet.
I love it. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do. You look them square in the face. You tell them, don't believe me. Just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is so much better. Until next time, you guys.